International Education Week. So thank you so much for taking time out today to just help talk about just the transition from international to the United States and like how that transition was. So just talk about the sport you love and how you got to where you are today.
My name is Anele. Oh. I just blanked out. Okay. My name is Anele. I was born in South Africa but grew up in England. I play midfielder for Fort Lauderdale United.
My name's Sabrina. I was born in Oshawa, Ontario, in Canada, and I play left back.
Hi, my name is Thelma, and I'm from Iceland, but I also grew up in England, and I'm a winger.
Awesome. Amazing. I have such a diverse group of people today. All right, so I'm going to start off with the obvious question. What motivated you guys to start playing soccer? How did you get involved with soccer growing up?
I think it's my family. Like, I grew up with two brothers, so we were always like just out in the cage playing. And my friends also were quite, intrigued by football, so we just always in the cage. And that kind of inspired me to kind of transition into then playing professionally.
I played a lot of sports like when I was really young. I didn't pick one specifically, but my best friend needed a goalie on her club team, so I wasn't even intrigued by soccer yet. So I started off my career as a goalie, just playing for fun. I was a very hyperactive child, so my mom was like, if this keeps her busy and gets rid of some of her energy, that's fine. And then it kind of just grew from there. And then I was too rambunctious in the net, so they're like, no, she needs to get out and run. So then I became a field player, and then, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so both my parents actually played, so they kind of got me into it.
Just a legacy thing,
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess on that note, can you just talk about your journey? Like, what was your journey looking like to come into Fort Lauderdale United? Like, what were some of those key moments or even some of those challenges that happened?
Well, I started off playing in college back home in England. I played for college for 2 years, and then when I came over here to play actual college, American college, for 4 years I played at West Alabama. And then when I graduated from there, I went and played in Portugal. After Portugal, I went and played in Israel. And then I spent another year in Turkey as well. And then just this past season. And then that's when I was scouted and recruited to come to Fort Lauderdale this season.
Awesome. You're really global. Okay,
I
awesome.
know,
Love
yeah.
that.
How old are you?
Ooh,
You had a long
my business. I'm joking.
I was thinking, I'm like,
25. I'm 25.
That's a lot of experience.
Yeah, it is. I spent a
You
year.
packed a lot in this whole
Yeah.
years.
Just keep jumping. Every year you keep jumping.
Ooh, those are resume.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Sabrina?
I played Division I soccer for 6.5 years, so I stretched my 4-year eligibility the longest, I think, that a lot of athletes can say. But I had 2 ACL injuries, which gave me red shirts, and then in 2022 I graduated from Auburn and then went overseas, played in Cyprus for a season, and then came home from that this time last year actually, and then decided to take a step back from soccer, was looking for other overseas opportunities, but none felt right for me. And then I played summer soccer here in Miami this summer, and I was actually scrimmaging against Fort Lauderdale just end of July, I believe, and it was kind of my last opportunity to see if I wanted to continue to play pro. And then after that game, they literally asked me to come out on trial with them, so I got invited out, and then now I'm here, and they decided to sign me.
I mean, if you can't beat them, join them. Right?
Exactly. Couldn't beat them, but joined them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just played in Iceland my whole life, and then I came here and I played for FAU, so it's pretty close. And then I went back to Iceland for a bit and played there in the summer. And then they reached out to me and I started just training with them, and yeah, then they signed me.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's in their journey or a straightforward journey, I love to hear how you guys just up and coming.
Yeah.
So I guess on that note, how did you guys manage to balance everything? So how did you balance soccer and school or soccer and personal life? How did that balance look?
I mean, I would say it was very tough. It was a very challenging experience, just in terms of balancing school and football at the same time. just because like the morning classes really take out. You have like in college you have like 6 a.m. practices, and then you go from that 6 a.m. practice to then an 8 a.m. class, which is like it takes a lot of determination and definitely a lot of self-discipline to like hold yourself accountable and be like, okay, like I know I'm tired, but let me just get into this class and let me do this work. Just being very self-driven, self-motivated to get the stuff done is really what gets. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for everybody here when I say like it takes a lot of determination to get that done.
Love to hear that. I mean, I know you said you're speaking on behalf of you guys, but you guys have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would agree. I think for me, when I started playing soccer in Canada, it was just for fun. And then when I realized it was like a true passion of mine, the United States tends to hold soccer to a different caliber, and to be able to play Division I soccer here became a dream when I was in high school. And then to be here, I think like my coaches did a good job at providing resources to make sure that like the academics and the social aspect became a little bit like easier. But I think like being a part of a team made it easier to like manage all of those things, but it still is a grind. Like it was very, very hard. You struggle in more than one way or another, but I think with like the right support and being a part of a team, it does make it a little bit easier, and you have a lot of people to like piggyback off of, and everyone on your team understands what you're going through.
And also having like coaches that are willing to like give a helping hand. So if you're like struggling in classes, they will like get you tutors, or they will get you like different programs that will help you in a certain class, which really helped me in college.
Yeah, my class was all Canadian too, so I came in with a lot of other international athletes, which made it a lot easier because we went to all of our international meetings together, and we were all experiencing like American soccer for the first time together, so we all had each other to lean on, which was cool. Easy. Mm-hmm.
I know they probably said everything, but just in case you have anything to drop in there.
I don't know, just get a good routine down.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
so
what I do.
good segue. Perfect. What does a routine look for you guys? Like, how does a day look? Or if you want to use like, what does your busiest day look like?
Go and tell me, you take this one.
Like in college or?
Yeah, you can do college and you can also do like now.
Okay, well, in college we would have practice. We would get there at like 6:30, so I'd show up to the locker room at 6:30, get dressed, have breakfast, and then we would go train, and then usually I would nap for a little bit just to get my energy back. Mm-hmm. And then I would go to class after that, like do my homework, lunch, and always go early to bed because a good night's sleep is very important. I would go to bed at like 10.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what does a day look like for you guys now as pro athletes?
So my day typically starts around 7:15. I get to the locker room, get changed, and then I have to do treatment because I hurt my knee. So I get into the treatment room, do my exercises, and then eat breakfast if I have time. If we don't have a meeting, if we have a meeting, I usually don't have time. But get breakfast in, and then we drive over to the field. And I don't know if you've seen us, but we in like the little golf carts. Yeah, blasting music all the way. But yeah, get the golf carts down to the field, and then we just train. After that, we have lunch, and then do more treatment on my knee, and then go home.
Yeah, we're done around like what 1 o'clock is like the latest. Sometimes we'll get out a bit earlier.
Yeah.
If we don't have lunch at the facility, like we can get out like 11:45 sometimes earlier. But soccer's definitely like wake up, breakfast, morning routine, get yourself ready, pre-activation for training, and then around lunch, that's when I'm usually done, and then I go home.
Sometimes we have lift too though, so that will push it back a bit.
Yeah. And then I have dogs, so I take my dogs out in the morning at lunch, and then usually I work on my iPad a little bit, work at home. I'm in an apartment, so I'm not like living with all the girls, but you guys usually like do stuff together and go to the movies and find stuff to do. But for the most part, we have like the second half of the day to ourselves right now, which is nice. We're in school. You have classes all afternoon, so it'd be this exact same schedule. You're done by lunch, and then I would always have classes blocked off from like 1 till 5. And then you do your homework after that, make dinner, go to bed, do it all over again.
Got you. So, just on the topic of culture, what were some of the, like, I guess off the top of your head, what were some of the things that, just with those cultural differences with playing in back home, like in your home country or whatever you identify as home, and playing in the United States?
I would say playing in England versus playing in the US is definitely a lot more rowdy in the locker room in England as opposed to here. Like everyone's usually like in this, you can relate.
Yeah.
Like it's usually very rowdy in the locker room. Like everybody's kind of in each other's face and like getting each other geared up for the game. Whereas here, everyone's like in their zone, got their music on, doing their pre-activation. You know, people getting taped here. So that's the difference that we have in the locker room. Yeah.
I would say the soccer style is different too.
That
like
is true.
I feel like more in Europe it's a bit more like technical, where here it's very physical. Everyone, you know, there are a lot of athletes. Everyone's fast,
Yes.
strong. So yeah, that's definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, there's a lot of athletes here that can play, like, soccer. Canada, soccer is still on, like, the up and up, but there's so many more resources here. Even I coached at a local high school throughout college, and the resources that high school athletes have here compared to, like, in Canada is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
their
That is
some of their
another
high
thing as
schools
well.
are nicer than
Mm-hmm.
colleges in
Facilities here
Canada.
are just 10 times
Unreal.
better.
Like
Yeah.
locker rooms,
Everything is
equipment, everything. Like
Yeah.
in England, you
Jerseys.
get one shirt, one T-shirt, and then you have to figure out the socks yourself.
Here they're
Yeah, you
sponsored
have, like,
by
yeah.
Nike. They have Nike tracks. They have what we have here at Fort Lauderdale. That's why,
Yeah.
like, I think Americans, like, there's not that big of a jump now from high schools because they have access to a lot. Where when I came to the U.S., and I don't know if I can speak for you guys, but the amount of resources is like, wow, like this
Yeah.
is like a job. Like, we're getting rewarded with all of this stuff. So I was just so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, resources is definitely like a generational thing, right? Like
Mhm.
sometimes it's great and then it goes up and then you're like, wow, like I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess on that topic, like what are some things you guys want to see in women's soccer? Like some improvements you'd like to see happen in women's soccer? Like what changes would you like to see happen in women's soccer?
I think like right now with the like NWSL and even this league, we're like starting to provide more opportunities for athletes, especially to stay here in the U.S. We all tried playing overseas, which is hard. I wouldn't go back home to play soccer, and I guess there's a new professional team starting in Canada next year, which is a new opportunity, but this league itself just gave like 400 more soccer players an avenue to stay here rather than, again, overseas is a bit iffy. Like, you never know what you're getting when you're going overseas.
Uncertain.
It's very, yeah.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part about playing for Fort Lauderdale? What's been the most rewarding part of just playing for Fort Lauderdale United?
I mean, I'd say when we win, we have a really good commodity and we have a really good spirit, and a lot of girls like to have a good time after a good win. So that's quite good. I'd also say we have really amazing facilities, amazing background staff that do so much for us.
Denise.
Yes, shout out Denise, shout out Kenny, shout out Key. They do so much for, shout out Kaylin. I forget our camera guy. But yeah, they do so much for us, and you don't really see how much work and how much effort they put into, making sure that we get everything and we're sorted, and all we have to focus on is just the game and just practice and nothing else. Like, they do so much for us, and we're grateful for that.
Yeah, we really have everything
Yeah.
we need to be successful, which is like a great feeling because then it just comes down to the soccer aspect. And it's both like our passion, but now our careers, which is like a fine line, managing the two. So to be able to be supported in that way is just like a great feeling.
Yeah.
Couldn't have worded it better.
Okay. That's like me on my discussion post. When I'm yeah, I love the way you said that.
I totally agree.
When you got to respond to whoever's
Yeah,
gonna-
we're gonna respond to someone's discussion post. That's what I pull. So, I mean, it's been amazing talking to you guys. Just one last question. What advice would you guys give young athletes, like just trying to stay motivated in their sport or trying to be where you are right now?
I'd just say keep having fun with it, and don't stress yourself too much on being the best or being the most greatest player. Just try to have fun out there, and every time you go out there, putting in maximum effort, maximum hard work, and the results will show for itself.
Yeah, just
I feel
Alright, Thelma, you're cracking me up. Alright, Sophia, go ahead so we can give Thelma some time to think.
I would say to just always remember your why, like why you started, especially athletes like us who've been playing for so long. It's hard to like continue to remember those things because you just get so caught up in the moment and trying to be like perfect. But I always just try and remind myself of why I started playing and why I love it, and that will take you very far in the game.
Love that. Thought of anything, Thelma?
yeah. Just work hard. Don't give up.
Work hard and don't give up.
No, you have
Have
good
fun.
advice. You have good advice. What would you tell a younger athlete, little Thelma? What would you tell her that wanted to play here?
Just keep going. You know, I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it pro, and here I am. So.
Keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Well, it's been lovely talking to you guys. Thank you so much for
Thank you
putting
so
up with
much
all
for
my
having
questions.
us.
And talking to all our students who will be watching this video.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
That'll be contagious.
Well, I love it. It kept it more conversational.
People love that.
You should
They'll
do
be like, "Oh my
you should
gosh,
do
she's really
bloopers
We
at
should
the
do
end.
like a blooper video.